Shalom, shalom, shalom. Kazakh Aliyahu here for just a word. And welcome to another of our weekly teaching. Today we have a controversial topic. Proof. Redemption is only for one nation, not for the whole world. Redemption is only for one nation, not for the whole world. And please note, I did not say salvation. Because when people see this topic, everybody's going to be, oh, only Israelites can be saved. We're not talking about salvation. We're going to show the difference between salvation and redemption. Redemption is only for one nation, the children of Yasharal, not for the whole world. And so please look carefully on your screens. Today we're going to go into deep things and we are going to see deeper things today. We have to pay attention or else we'll be left behind. And this teaching is based, of course, on Psalms 83. That's the foundation. Psalms 83:4 says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasharal may be no more in remembrance. The nations of this earth, they strove to let our nation, Yasharal.
No sound on Yehuda.
Oh, sorry. No sound on Zoom. Let me get it. I know the problem right away. Thank you very much. You should be getting sound now. So you have to mute that. All right, should be okay now. If it is not okay, please let me know. Yeah, I know why. All right? So, the nations conspired to let us come out of memory of the world, because if they make us be remembered, it will let the world know what is going to come upon the world. And this is very significant in the end time here. This revelation of the truth is very significant because in the end time when our people are gathering together, the truth must be told and the truth is coming to light. The nations sought to hide our people because when they hide our people and we remain ignorant, we remain thinking that everyone is the same and we are all the same people, then it means we cannot return to our Father. Now, this teaching is very important in that it explains a whole, it brings out so much truths. It might sound insignificant, but it brings out so many truths, and it will increase our understanding of the word, of the way, and increase understanding of why our Father loves us so much and why he is constantly speaking about Yasharal, gathering back my people. You shall return. You shall come back to me. Return to me. We are going to understand more why he has this love and why not for the other nations. All right? So, in the beginning, I said, I'm speaking about redemption, not salvation. So, the difference between save and redeem is very important before we start. So, Psalms 106, verse 10 says,
And he saved them from the hand of him that hated them, and redeemed them from the hand.
And let me get this on. We have a power cut, so just a minute or few, and probably I can just continue. Let me get the people on Zoom. They will not be able to hear. Remind me to switch back this thing when the power comes back. All right, those people on Zoom will not be able to hear. We just had a power cut, so we are switching everything. So in Psalm 106 verse 10, it tells us about save and redeem in one sentence, which shows you that they are two different things. Both can be interchangeable, and then both are separate. It says, and he saved them from the hand of him that hated him. All right, let me switch back this. Sorry about that. We got backup power now on. So let me switch back this to this microphone. All right, so thank you. So, yeah. So saved, the meaning of saved, it is the word yasha, from where we get Yahusha. A primitive root, properly to be open, wide, or free, that is by implication to be safe. Causatively to free or succor. So redemption also means to free, but it is a different type of freedom, and we're going to see that. At all, avenging, defend, deliver, help, preserve, rescue, be safe, bring, having salvation. So salvation and redemption are very close, but there are distinct differences. To save actually means to rescue, to deliver someone for some reason or the other. It can be for different reasons that you save someone. Yeah? So by grace are you saved through emanah. That is salvation. But redemption is a little different. Isaiah 63 verse 9. Go ahead.
And in all their affliction he was afflicted, and the angel of his presence saved them. In his love and in his pity he redeemed them, and he bare them and carried them all. I have to scroll on.
All the days of old.
All the days of old.
So, again, we have saved and redeemed in two different sentences, two different verses. So it behoves us to see the difference. So we just have saved. Save means to deliver, to make someone safe, to free them from something and succor them, to defend them, to deliver them, yes, to rescue them. That is saved. So we come now to redeem. Redeem is a little different. The difference between save and redeem. Jeremiah 31:11 says,
For Yahuwah has redeemed Jacob, and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he.
Alright, two words we have to look at there. Age 6299, redeemed, and age 1350, ransomed. As I'm saying, it is better you'll be looking at this. Alright? Redeemed and ransomed. Both go hand in hand, and both are interchangeable at times. To redeem means to ransom means to redeem, but there are little slight differences. For Yahuwah hath redeemed Jacob, and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he. The meaning of redeemed, H629, a primitive root to sever, that is ransom. As we said, ransom and redeemed. And if you look at the meaning of ransom, it says to redeem. Yeah. I'm muted on?
No, you might be on the other mic on the queue.
Oh, thanks. Mic check 1, 2. No, both mics were on. You heard the echo? All right. Should be okay now. So redeem means to ransom, generally to release, preserve, deliver. So that same word means deliver. Save means to deliver as well. By any means, ransom. That are to be, let be, redeemed, rescue. So there still seems to be so close between save and redeem. But we come to ransom. Ransomed him from the hand that was of him that was stronger than he. Ransom is from H 1350, Gawal, to redeem. According to the Oriental law of kinship. Now we get into the depths of redemption. According to the Oriental law of kinship, that is to be the next of kin, and as such to buy back a relative's property. There we go to the very first and most important aspect of redeem. It means to buy back. Buy back. So whatever you redeem must have been yours in the first place. Are you with me? And as such, to buy back a relative's property. A relative's property. By marrying his widow, etc. And we're going to look at that law. In any wise at all, avenger, deliver, to perform the part of near or next of kin. To purchase, to ransom, redeemer, revenger. To purchase, which means to buy. So, redeem is a more specific aspect to save. When you save, you can save in different ways, but redeem is more specific. Redeem means you purchase back that which was yours. Here we go, with only one nation can be redeemed, because in the beginning, from the start, the Most High laid claim to only one nation. We're going to look at that as well. So, Exodus 6, verse 6.
Wherefore,
You can see
say
that?
unto the children of Yasharal,
Yeah.
I am Yahuwah, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments.
I will do what? Redeem you. Will redeem Yasharal. Now, with Yahuwah and Yasharal, he made... Oh, we're going to go to that. I shouldn't say it so early. Whenever Yasharal goes against his way, he sends them into bondage. That is where his redemption comes from. Redemption out of bondage. So go again to Deuteronomy 15:15, where it tells you again. Deuteronomy 15:15.
And thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in the land of Egypt, and Yahuwah thy Elohah redeemed thee. Therefore I command thee this thing today.
All right, so we're going to look more closely at redeem. You see them here? It's all over the scriptures and we ignore it. But it's very important that we understand. So how does he redeem Jacob? How does he redeem Jacob or Yasharal? Mishlei, Proverbs 21 verse 18, laying the foundation. Proverbs 21 verse 18.
The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous, and the transgressor for the upright.
So when he is redeeming Yasharal, he whips the oppressors. He whips the wicked who have them under bondage. Deuteronomy 7 verse 10.
And repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face.
So the wicked that hate them, that hates him, he will destroy them to their face. Notice, people, how much wickedness has gone on over the earth, and the Most High is not doing anything. And he promises, when the wicked comes, it is at the end of the age when we are to be delivered. So he tolerates the wicked, and when he is to redeem us, then takes us apart, and he pours out his wrath on the wicked. What did the verse before say? The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous. Isaiah 51, 11 to 16. How does he redeem Yasharal? Isaiah 51, 11 to 16.
Therefore, the redeemed of Yahuwah shall return, and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away.
So who is he speaking to here? About here? Who is he speaking about? Is it to the whole world? Who is the redeemed of Yahuwah?
Yasharal.
Yasharal. So Yasharal is the redeemed that shall come and return to Zion. This is what we are looking forward to. This should be us if we make it. We should be those who return with singing unto Zion. Verse 12.
I, even I, am he that comforteth you. Who art thou that thou shouldst be afraid of a man that shall die, and of the Son of Man which shall be made as grass?
So in the end time, there's going to rise up a world ruler that's going to bring terror upon the earth. The Most High is going to rescue us, redeem us from these wicked. Verse 13.
And forgettest Yahuwah thy Maker, that has stretched forth the heavens and laid the foundations of the earth, and has feared continually every day because of the fury of the oppressor, as if he were ready to destroy? And where is the fury of the oppressor?
This is after we are redeemed. The Most High is going to say, where is the fury of this oppressor? Verse 14.
The captive exile hasteneth, that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail.
Continue.
But I am Yahuwah thy Eluah, that divided the sea, whose waves roared. Yahuwah Sabaoth is his name.
Continue.
And I have put my words in thy mouth, and I have covered thee in the shadow of mine hand, that I may plant the heavens and lay the foundations of the earth, and say unto Zion, thou art my people.
So these people who are to be redeemed, Zion, he says, thou art my people. He says, say unto Zion. He didn't say unto the world. Say unto Zion, thou art my people. Verse 17.
Awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunk at the hand of Yahuwah the cup of his fury. Thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup of trembling, and wrung them out. There is none to guide her among all the sons, whom she has brought forth. Neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she has brought up.
So Jerusalem being brought up, none of her sons can return Jerusalem to where it was. But, verse 22.
Thus says Yahuwah, your Eluah.
Just says Yahuwah.
Thus says Yahuwah, and thy Eluah, that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again.
But
I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee.
you see, when it's time for our redemption, he's going to redeem us by pouring out his wrath on the wicked. Read 23 again, please, to the end.
But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over.
So we will be redeemed from those who oppress us. That is the redemption. That is why the other nations in the world, they do not need redemption. Our redemption comes about because of our history of being in our 400-year captivity. Our redemption that it's speaking about here, it is our 400-year captivity redemption. That is what is upon us in this end time. So the redemption is not for the whole world. We're going to see much, much more proof. A whole lot of proof. But it is for only the nation of Israel. This is what they have hidden, people. When we went to church, they did not tell us that in the end there's going to be a redemption of a nation. They told us that it's going to be a religion that is going to be caught up, raptured away. This is going to expose the big, big lie of Christianity and show even more that that religion is the religion of the devil. Let's go now to Isaiah 51, 22 to 23. Oh, I did that. So let's show the choosing. Yasharal, a people chosen from the beginning. We're going to show that Yahuwah, first of all, Malachi 3:6, that our Father does not change and that he chose a people from the beginning. And throughout it all, he told us that these people, he will never forget them and never forget his promises that he has for them. Malachi 3:6.
For I am Yahuwah, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
I am Yahuwah, I change not. He says, therefore the sons of Jacob are not consumed. What does that mean? It means that we deserve to be consumed. But because he does not change, that is why he spares us. Why? He has this promise to Abraham, Yitzchak, and Jacob to fulfill. And so even though we are, even when Gentiles come among us, you must be wondering why the Most High chose us. Even why we are so despicable. The Most High says, boy, just because of my promises, and I do not change, that is why I do not consume you. Because our people are terrible people. We're not nice people. I'm honest with you. And the Bible tells you, he says, for you are a stiff-necked people. Yeah. We're not nice. That's why Moses got in trouble with us, because of our stiff-neckedness. All right, 2 Ezra 6:54-56, we are going to show you that we were chosen from the beginning. From the beginning. That is why our redemption draweth nigh. 2 Ezra 6, verse 54.
And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest master of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Yahuwah, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Say that last part again, because
thou madest the world for our sakes.
The chosen, the people whom thou hast chosen. The world was made for the sake of one nation. Did they teach us that in Christianity? They did not.
No.
The world, they told us not to read these books. Imagine now this being in the Christian Bible. How many pastors would have to be trying to answer this question? And the Christians go, but pastor, in 2 Ezra it says, the world was made for the sake of the children of Israel. What does this mean? They would have no answer.
Yeah.
So they couldn't put it in the book. The world was made for our sakes. We were chosen from the beginning. Verse 55. Verse 56, sorry.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
No, hear this now. Remember, you redeem your former possession. The Most High here does not lay any claim to the other nations. He says they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So how can he be redeeming these people who he thinks of as being nothing? Chosen from the beginning. Deuteronomy 32 verses 8 to 9. We have to establish ownership, because redemption has to do with ownership. You cannot redeem that which you do not have the permission to redeem, or that which you do not own. Deuteronomy 32 verse 8 to 9.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Yasharal.
He set the boundaries of the people. That means you can't come any closer. These are my people. Here, the children of Yasharal. And the boundaries are set according to the number, the amount of Israelites. So the Most High planned this world for the sake of Yasharal, based on the number of the children of Yasharal. And verse 9 says,
For Yahuwah's portion is his people.
When you have a portion, If you have something and you say, okay, you share something and say, okay, this is your portion. What does that mean?
That belongs to you.
That part belongs to me. He says his portion is his people. He's speaking about the division of the world. And he says, in the division of the world, my portion of the world is my people. Jacob is the lot of my inheritance, of his inheritance. In other words, these people here, out of all the world, these people are mine. How can he redeem the nations when they don't belong to him? All are his, but he only claims one. It is like a tithe. He has taken a tithe of the world and says, this is my part. I made the world, but I'm going to take a tithe out of it. Nation of Yasharal. Okay? Isaiah 40 verses 15 to 17. Isaiah 40 verses 15. We lay the foundation of ownership of one people.
Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing.
He doesn't care about them, in other words, really. Verse 16.
And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beasts thereof sufficient for a burnt offering.
So the Most High says, not this nation called Lebanon is not sufficient to burn. Meaning, if there is even an offering of Lebanon, he wouldn't even think about it. Verse 17.
All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity.
Less than nothing and vanity. So how can he redeem people from these nations who he says are nothing and counting to him less than nothing and vanity? And remember, the nations comprise the land and the people. Okay? So how can he redeem people who he thinks as nothing, as being like unto spittle? So we're establishing ownership of Yasharal from the beginning. Isaiah 43, verse 7.
Even every one that is called by my name, for I have created him for my splendor. I have formed him. Yes, I have made him.
All right, so you see, this is speaking about Yasharal. He says, I have created him for my splendor. A special creation. A special creation. He says, I have created him for my splendor. I have formed him. Yea, I have made him. 3 different ways he showed us that he was the one who made these people specially for himself. Specially for himself. Verse 21.
This people have I formed for myself. They shall show forth my praise.
You see? This people have I formed for myself. So people, when the Most High calls us, why are we caring about our worldly, what you call it now? Our worldly concerns. Why is it such a struggle for us to give up everything and serve Yahuwah? No matter where we are, or what we are, or who we are, or what we do, or where we are, blah, blah, blah. We were formed for one purpose. To show forth his praise. That's it. So if we are not showing forth his praise and showing forth his splendor, then it's better we were not born. Because that is what he created us for. These people have I formed for myself. He formed us and said, these people are mine to show forth my praise. If we are not showing forth his praise out there, partaking of Babylon and all the things, what do you think? What is our purpose? We have failed at our purpose. All right? And we might as well go to Devarim 7, verse 6. I think we had it somewhere else, but now is the right time. Nice time to put it.
For thou art an holy people unto Yahuwah thy Eluah. Yahuwah thy Eluah has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So people, we are not created equal. He created us for his splendor. He formed us. I made him. I created him for my splendor. It's not an equality issue. We are above the other nations. But when we misbehave, he sends us and let us be below the other nations. When he wants us now to be activated for his splendor, for his praise, he redeems us. Redemption is not for the other nations. One nation he redeems. And this is the house of Yasharal, the whole house of Yasharal. And that's what the Bible is all about. Now verse 7, continue at verse 7.
Yahuwah did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people.
But because
Yahuwah loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, has Yahuwah brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
There we go. That's it. That's what's going to happen at the end of our 400-year captivity. That is why our redemption draws nigh. Our redemption because of our captivity. So, in Jeremiah 16:14, I think it says, it will no more be said, Yahuwah liveth that brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahuwah liveth who brought the children of Israel from where? From the land of the north. And what is the land of the north? From Babylon. So our redemption this time is going to be from Babylon. And we're going to see proof of it later on. Just how to touch that. But, not yet. But because Yahuwah loved you, and because, you see, because he loved you, and it says it in the past tense. What does that mean? Before the beginning of time, he set his love upon us. Past tense. And because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers. I am Yahuwah, I change it not. And there I said, because of the promise he made with Abraham, Yitzchak, and Jacob, that is why we are not consumed. And here it says, because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers. Okay? So redemption is for Yasharal when Yasharal is in slavery, bondage, captivity. And we just did Deuteronomy 7 verse 8. Right time I did it. Let's go into 1 Chronicles 17:21. When we are in bondage, that is when we have redemption. How can the other nations ruling this earth think to have redemption? Redemption from what? 1 Chronicles 17:21.
And what one nation in the earth is like thy people Yasharal, whom Eluah went to redeem to be his own people, to make thee a name of greatness and terribleness, by driving out nations from before thy people, whom thou hast redeemed out of Egypt.
You see that redemption again from out of bondage? Redemption is out of bondage. Leviticus 25:42. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Mitzrayim. They shall not be sold as bondmen. Very important there. When the Most High redeems us, we cannot serve as slaves anymore. That is why in all the prophecies, the Most High said, and they shall no longer serve themselves of them. No other nations shall serve of us. We will, on the other hand, be those who they are serving. Yes? They shall not be sold as bondmen. And look in verse 42, it says, For they are my servants. Thank you. For they are my servants. We are servants of Yahuwah. Now, when he calls us, We are called to do what? To serve Him. To give up our entire life. To risk everything that we have. To be willing to have nothing. To be persecuted. To be every one of those negative terms. Because we are His servants. When He redeems us, we become His servants. All right? Exodus 21 verse 7.
And if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. If she please not her master, who has betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed. To sell her unto a strange nation, he shall have no power, seeing he has dealt deceitfully with her.
So redemption there has to do with slavery, with being in, not slavery, in servitude. All right? You redeem people who are in servitude. Leviticus 19:20.
And whosoever lieth carnally with a woman, that is a bondmaid, betrothed to an husband, and not at all redeemed, nor freedom given her, she shall be scourged. They shall not be put to death, because she was not free.
Hear this now. This is a very, I didn't want to go too deeply in these laws, just to show that redemption is from being in bond service. But this bondmaid, she was not redeemed. She was not free. When she commits the sin, it says she shall be scourged. They shall not put her to death because she was not free. Let me tell you something. You see, when we come into the truth, when people are in blindness, we talk a lot about Christians. But you see, us who have been given the truth, we are going to get a bigger whipping than the Christians. What does it say? To whom much is given, much is in return. And it speaks about the stripes. And he that did what? Shall be with many stripes. How does it go again? Shall be with many stripes. Let me get it. Because it's actually this Torah. Luke 12.
What verse?
Luke 12 verse 42.
And Yahushua said, Who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his master shall make ruler over his household, to give them their portion of meat in due season? Blessed is that servant, whom his master, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he has.
So we have to make sure that at all time we are walking in perfection, not so that when the master comes, then we are not found wanting. Continue. 45.
But and if that servant say in his heart, My master delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat the men servants and maidens, and to eat and drink, and be drunken, the master of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him in sunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers.
So we there who know, and we go according to our own heart's desires, this is what it says going to happen. Verse 47.
And that servant which knew his master's will, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes.
Those who knew, those like us, who go and speak the word of truth, telling people that they are in error. We know, but what do we do with what we know? Verse 48.
But he that knew not, and did commit things worthy of stripes, shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more.
You see? So the Christians who do not know are going to be beaten with less stripes than us. So, let's go back. So when in Leviticus 19:20, the woman was not redeemed, she will not be punished as someone who was free. Isaiah 43:1.
But now thus says Yahuwah that created thee, O Jacob, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Yasharal. Fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine.
Who does he claim to redeem here?
Yasharal.
Jacob.
Jacob.
One family, one nation. And if you search in the thing for Gentile redemption, redeemed Gentile, stranger redeemed, redemption of stranger, redemption stranger, redeemed stranger, you will not find it. You'll only find redeemed of Jacob. So the nation of Judah, remember back in the days they looked for redemption. The nation of Judah back in the days of Hamashiach needed redemption because they were tributaries, they were occupied, they were subject to Rome. So they wanted redemption from Rome. Luke 24:20.
And how the chief priests and our rulers delivered him to be condemned to death, and have crucified him. But we trusted that it had been he which should have redeemed Yasharal. And beside all this, today is the third day since these things were done.
So they were looking for their Redeemer. They knew that a Mashiach was coming to redeem Yasharal. Okay? All right, so our generation now, us, how did we become bondmen in need of redemption? How did we become bondmen in need of redemption? Can somebody tell me? How did we become bondmen in need of redemption? Disobedience. Yeah. And there's one verse in the scriptures that tells us plainly, puts us as to where we are, especially for those of us who are over in, who were scattered in slavery. Deuteronomy 28:68.
And Yahuwah shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
You see this verse? You have some people, they call themselves apologetics. Some people who hold on to the fallacy of Christianity and are trying to find ways or excuses to remain in their madness. This thing called apologetics is the worst thing that ever came up, Satan's invention. Apologetics, let me just tell you in my own words. These are people who believe that their religion is true, their belief is true, and they go out and they find everything to prove and defend their religion as being true. This, of course, is the opposite of prove all things, hold fast that which is good. What they do, they assume that I am right, and they find things to back it up. So this verse, they are using this to say, hey, it's not talking about literal, it's talking about literal Egypt. Of course, Exodus 20 verse 2 tells you the house of bondage. Common sense, spiritual sense will let you know that he's speaking about bondage here. Okay? But then they went again and said, oh, you were sold as slaves, but it says no man shall buy you. No, anyone who looks on this verse must be laughing and has spiritual sense. It says, you shall be sold unto your enemies. We didn't say we weren't sold. Eh? You shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. What does that mean? Common sense mustn't let you say, I wonder what that means. He says we are sold, and then no man shall buy us. So the simplest thing is to look into the meaning of the word. For buy, no man shall buy you. It's H7068, which is the Hebrew word kana. It has many meanings. A primitive root to erect, that is create. By extension, to procure. So no man can procure you. Especially by purchase. Causatively sell. By implication, to own. Attain. Buyer. Teach, to keep cattle. Get. Provoke to jealousy. Possess. Possessor. Purchase. Recover. And here's the bomb. Redeem. This is the only word in this set of meaning that can explain this verse. You will be sold, but no man can redeem you. What did we say about redemption? You buy back. So in other words, you will be sold in slavery, but no man is going to be able to buy you back out of slavery. Simple. No man. And why no man is going to be able to buy you back? I, Yahuwah himself. Yeah. He's saying, I, Yahuwah, will redeem you. Simple. So this is how we become in need of redemption right now. So we who are the descendants of Hebrew slaves, because I don't believe all the slaves that went across were Hebrews. He said, I will scatter you among the heathen. And some of them are heathen among which you are scattered. The Hebrew slaves are still in need of redemption. We have not been redeemed. So, you're saying something? Yeah. You might need to put a mic over there. Amikai. So he was saying that Marcus Garvey and others tried to redeem us, but they failed. Of course, they had to fail because they did not look into the scripture and understand what it actually means. So, we were speaking about the nation being of the land and of the people. So, both the land and the people need to be redeemed. Both the land and the people need to be redeemed. Isaiah 52, verse 9.
Break forth into joy. Sing together, ye waste places of Jerusalem. For Yahuwah has comforted his people. He has redeemed Jerusalem.
So he has comforted his people, that is the people, and he hath redeemed Jerusalem, the place. The land and the people need redemption. So we're speaking about redemption. We're speaking about redemption, and we said redemption is when you buy back that which was yours. So if you have sold someone, you can buy back that person. So the land belongs to Yahuwah. That is why Yahuwah will redeem the land. Let me tell you something about that land. The land remains desolate because it belongs to one person, one owner, not a person, Yahuwah Sabaoth. That is why the land has to be desolate. Why? When we are sold into captivity, the land also is made desolate and cannot be reactivated until the land is what? Is redeemed. That is why that place they call Jerusalem, with that hustling and bustling city, cannot be the Jerusalem. It first has to be redeemed. And he tells you, I think we have the scriptures here. You see this topic about redemption, it is so huge and so vast. I tried to chisel through little bits. I don't even remember which parts I have in there. It's so vast, so much to it. So he says the place will remain desolate until he gathers back his people. So here's the redemption. He redeems his people and redeems his land at the same time. And the people go into the redeemed land. Bam. The land cannot be redeemed before the people are redeemed. So all the people over there in that place you call Israel, that's a lie. Blatant lie, as we're going to see. So the land belongs to Yahuwah. 2 Chronicles 7:19.
But if you turn away and forsake my statutes and my commandments, which I have set before you, and shall go and serve other Elohim, and worship them, then will I pluck them up by the roots out of my land, which I have given them, and this house, which I have sanctified for my name, will I cast out of my sight, and will make it to be a proverb and a byword among all nations.
You see that? Out of whose land? My land. And he's going to pluck them out and make it a proverb and a byword. So Jerusalem cannot be occupied at this time. So what does the law? To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So let's go to Torah and see what the law says about redemption of property. The book of Ba'ikra, Leviticus 25, verse 23 to 34. Leviticus 25, verse 33 to 44, I said?
34.
To 34, yeah.
The land shall not be sold forever.
No. Where was I?
Leviticus 25, verse 23.
Oh, 23 to 34. Oh. Yeah, let's go.
The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine.
Stop. Woo! Read it again, please.
The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine.
Hey! Why so sweet? Say it again, please.
The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine.
For
you are strangers and sojourners with me.
Hey! So the children of Israel don't really own the land, do they? Yeah? You are strangers and sojourners with me. The land is mine. It cannot be sold forever. So that is why the children of Israel could only redeem the land. Because it does not actually belong to them. It stays in their generation forever. At times, some of the land. But it does not mean it is theirs. The land is mine. You cannot sell the land. So it remains in a family. And a family member can do what? Redeem it. You see? It cannot be sold. That is the difference with Yahuwah's land and the land in Babylon. Verse 24.
And in all the land of your possession, ye shall grant a redemption for the land.
You see? Now we want to get this very carefully to understand redemption. Yeah? The land is mine. Can you turn it up or down? All right. 25.
If thy brother be waxen poor, and hath sold away some of his possession, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which his brother sold.
Mm-hmm.
And if the man have none to redeem it, and himself be able to redeem it, then let him count the years of the sale thereof, and restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it, that he may return unto his possession.
So if he gets poor and he decides to sell it to someone who is not his family member can redeem it at any time. Because even though you sell it to the other person, the Most High says, this is my land. Yes? You have sold it, but it still belongs to your generation. Your generation can redeem it because that is my law. Continue.
But if he be not able to restore it to him, then that which is sold shall remain in the hand of him that has bought it until the year of Jubilee. And in the Jubilee it shall go out, and he shall return unto his possession.
You see that? So even if a man who is not of the family owns the land, when the Jubilee comes, he has to give up the land. because he cannot own it. It is Yahuwah's land. Continue.
And if a man sell a dwelling house in a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold. Within a full year may he redeem it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it be not redeemed within the space of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city shall be established forever to him that bought it throughout his generations. It shall not go out in the Jubilee.
All right, so if it is a walled city and he sells it, within a year, say he gets broke, he has 1 year to go and buy it back. If within the 1 year he wants to buy it back, that person cannot stop him from buying it back. Yahuwah is so just. His laws are so just. That person cannot stop him. But if the 1 year passes, then he has no chance again. He has forfeited it. And that land now goes into that man's generation. All right? 31.
But the houses of the villages which have no wall round about them shall be counted as the fields of the country. They may be redeemed, and they shall go out in the Jubilee.
Remember, I tell you that how you know the people of the book, you have to know the people who live by the laws of the book. You see these laws that I just said? Read 31 again, please.
But the houses of the villages which have no wall round about them shall be counted as the fields of the country. They may be redeemed, and they shall go out in the Jubilee.
You see the lands around here? It's the same principle this is based on. You cannot buy the lands here and have it for yourself. You buy it for a specific period. Even though you see these nice wall lands on it, these are tribal lands. They are actually the possession of the tribal authority. And they can redeem it because the ownership does not go to you. Same thing here. These people live by these laws. I'm telling people since you come here, I see Torah in action. These people live by these laws. Nowhere else in this world, people just naturally live by the Torah as they have inherited it. Like this sub-Saharan Africa. Verse 32.
Notwithstanding the cities of the Levites and the houses of the cities of their possession, may the Levites redeem at any time.
So you see, the Levites always have an advantage over everyone. You see, when people say, oh, Yahuwah deals with everyone equally, and everyone is equal before the eyes of the Most High, as we say in Jamaica, not no go so. Look at the Levites. The other people have a limited time to redeem their property. Look what he says of the Levites. Read it again.
Notwithstanding the cities of the Levites and the houses of the cities of their possession, may the Levites redeem at any time.
There's no time limit on their redemption. So he does not deal with everyone because the Levites are closest to him and he deals with his holy matters. So they get the preference over everything. The Levites get the best of everything. When the people come with the sacrifices have to be the best from the people. Who gets the sacrifice? The Levites. The Levites get the best out of everything. Okay? Verse 33.
And if a man purchase of the Levites, then the house that was sold and the city of his possession shall go out in the year of Jubilee. For the houses of the cities of the Levites are their possession among the children of Yasharal.
Mm-hmm.
But the field of the suburbs of their cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession.
So the Most High has special laws for the Levites. All right? Mm-hmm. So let's look at the end time redemption of the land as spoken to us in Scripture. The book of Ezekiel 36, verse 3 to 15. Hold on, please, if you've reached there. Ezekiel 36, verses 3 to 15. I hope you're following me. No, am I going too fast?
No, I'm with you.
Okay. Read, please.
Therefore prophesy and say, Thus says Yahuwah Eluah, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that you might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and you are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people.
Look at this. Because they have made you what? Desolate. This is Jerusalem. They have made you desolate. This is the end time. And swallowed you up on every side. This is speaking about now. Look into this verse, please. It is speaking about now. They have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that you might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen. What does it mean, a residue? What is a residue? Something that remains. The heathen had swallowed up this area, that place where Jerusalem is. And only a portion of them have remained. The Germans were in charge, were in charge of Namibia. Germany left. The residue of the heathen are there, in control, behind the scenes, as they are here in South Africa. Behind the scenes, in control. Having Jerusalem as a possession. Verse 34.
Verse 4.
4, yeah, sorry.
Therefore, ye mountains of Yasharal, hear the word of Yahuwah Eluah. Thus says Yahuwah Eluah to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about.
Therefore,
thus says Yahuwah Eluah, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea.
Hey, and against all who? Edomea. Edom has eaten up all around this area. Yeah? In the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Edomea, all Edom, which have done what? Continue. Which have
appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Yasharal, and say unto the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, thus saith Yahuwah Eluah, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because you have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore, thus says Yahuwah Eluah, I have lifted up mine hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. But ye, O mountains of Yasharal, ye shall shoot forth your branches, and yield your fruit to my people of Yasharal, for they are at hand to come.
Yada Yahuwah.
Yada Yahuwah.
They are at hand to come. It's talking about now. This is what we are looking forward to now. They are at hand to come. What is the Most High saying here? Ye shall shoot forth your branches. You see that land that is desolate? He's actually saying that before we come in there, he is going to make sure it provides. It comes out of its desolation.
Fruitful.
And become fruitful. Boy, if we could just look into that place and see what's happening there, then you'd know when it's time for us to move, for us to enter there. Verse 9.
For behold, I am for you, and I will turn unto you, and you shall be tilled and sown.
And ye shall be what?
Tilled and sown.
And this, I don't even want to go into this. But people, what is going to happen? Let me just touch it a little. Jeremiah 31. Let me just touch this. Jerusalem shall be tilled and sown. Jeremiah 31. I think it's about 22. Jeremiah 31:23.
Thus says Yahuwah of hosts, the allure of Yasharal. As yet they shall use this speech in the land of Judah, and in the cities thereof, when I shall bring again their captivity.
When I shall do what?
Bring again their captivity.
So let's see when he shall bring again our captivity. Of course, turn back our captivity.
Yahuwah bless thee, O habitation of justice and mountain of holiness. And there shall dwell in Judah itself, and in all the cities thereof together, husbandmen and they that go forth with flocks.
Stop there. Are you seeing this? When our captivity is brought back, when we are brought back into the land, we shall be husbandmen, farmers. People, he said, flee out of the midst of Babylon. What do you think? Babylon is going to be destroyed. What did he say? Babylon the Great has fallen. We are in the era of Babylon. It is going to be totally destroyed. And when it is destroyed, we are going to be brought back to Bible days. We are going to be brought back to living like our fathers lived. We will farm and we will have flocks. Everything is going to be gone back. Because as we were looking in the testament of Issachar this morning in our morning fellowship, the only way to go through true perfection is when you are involved in husbandry, farming, and animals. The only way you can truly walk in perfection, all right, is through those types of occupation, not with Babylon's devices, not with Babylon's ways of doing things. All right? So let's go back. Ezekiel 3. Read verse 9, 36. Read verse 9.
For behold, I am for you, and I will turn unto you, and you shall be tilled and sown.
Of course, this is a metaphor that is saying that the people shall be tilled and sown. So that is why I use the other one to show that it will literally be husbandry, farming that will be taking place. Verse 10.
And I will multiply men upon you, all the house of Yasharal, even all of it. And the cities shall be inhabited, and the wastes shall be builded.
This is the redemption. This is when we are redeemed people. This is what is going to happen. Notice this is speaking to a nation of people. That is why redemption is not for the whole world. It is for the nation of Yasharal. Go ahead.
And I will multiply upon you man and beast, and they shall increase and bring fruit. And I will settle you after your old estates, and will do better unto you than at your beginnings. And you shall know that I am Yahuwah.
I will settle you after your old estates. You're going to go back to the old path, which is the good way. Go back to farming and the keeping of animals. And that is why the Most High has us here on a farm. And is sending out messages to us that we need to get going with the farming. And that is why I'm speaking to us here. Money should be put in husbandry. Because when we're going back into the land, we will be with our flocks, going with our flocks into the land. Isn't that so? All right? So we have to put our effort into going back to the old path, which is the good way. Continue verse 12.
Yes, I will cause men to walk upon you, even my people Yasharal, and they shall possess thee, and thou shalt be their inheritance, and thou shalt no more henceforth bereave them of men. Thus says Yahuwah Eluah, because they say unto you, Thou land devourest up men, and hast bereaved thy nations. Therefore thou shalt devour men no more, neither bereave thy nations any more, says Yahuwah Eluah.
Continue.
Neither will I cause men to hear in thee the shame of the heathen any more. Neither shalt thou bear the reproach of the people any more. Neither shalt thou cause thy nations to fall any more, says Yahuwah Eluah.
Neither shalt thou cause thy nations to fall any more. I want you to remember that. Cause thy nations, the nations of Yasharal, because this is very important when we're going forward. There are certain things about this word nations that they used to twist and to make the redemption and everything about them. Thy nations, neither shalt thou cause thy nations to fall anymore. What did he say to Abraham? I will make you a father of what?
Many nations.
Many nations. Scattered in the different nations. You got to look at that. Describe the tribes scattered in the different nations is the nations. Neither shalt thou cause thy nations to fall anymore. They have deceived us, people. The more you go into this, I want you to pay attention to it. You're going to see how much deception they threw on us with this thing. All right? A lot can be revealed through this study that you will be able to see. All right, that's 15. So again, I was saying, before redemption, the land will be desolate while keeping her Sabbaths. All those people that believe that that parking lot over there in the place they call Middle East is the land of Yasharal, you need a whipping if you have listened to us over time. That place is not the land because the scripture says it is not. It is not. Ezekiel 33:28.
For I will lay the land most desolate, and the pomp of her strength shall cease, and the mountains of Yasharal shall be desolate,
that none shall pass through. So how comes you have this big city, international bustling city of Jerusalem? I will leave the land most desolate that none shall pass through. Verse 29.
Then shall they know that I am Yahuwah, when I have laid the land most desolate, because of all the abominations which they have committed.
There you go. If the land is not desolate, then it is not Yahuwah. That's what he's saying here. Then shall you know that I am Yahuwah. When? When I have laid the land most desolate, because of all their abominations which they have committed. So if the land is not desolate, it is not Yahuwah. Vayikra 26:43. Leviticus 26:43.
The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Shabbats, while she lieth desolate without them. And they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, because they despise my judgments, and because their soul abhorred my statutes.
So the land remains desolate to keep her Shabbat because of the iniquities of our people. Now we have to go back to Torah and look at redeeming a poor man. Why do we need this? We need to understand Yahuwah's redemption of us. Because remember, in the Torah, it says, you shall be the tail and not the head while we are under captivity. It says, how many curses of us being poor? It says, curse shall be your basket and curse shall be your store. He shall lend to thee and you shall not lend to him. He shall be the head and you shall be the tail. So we have to look now at redemption of a poor man, because when he is redeeming us, we will be poor. You just need to go, before we go there, to the book of Yeshayahu, Isaiah chapter 61. Isaiah 61, starting at verse 1. So we have to look at the redemption of the poor, because the gospel is a gospel of the poor. Read, please.
The Ruach of Yahuwah Eluah is upon me, because Yahuwah hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahuwah, and the day of vengeance of our Eluah, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahuwah, that he might be magnified.
So everything here is speaking about the good news of the poor. And to see that it is speaking about the poor, we need to go to the account in Luke 4, about verse 15 or thereabout to 17. Luke 4, verse 16. Luke 4:16, to show that it is the gospel of the poor.
And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Shabbat day, and stood up for to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written, The Ruach of Yahuwah is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the good news to the poor.
To preach the good news to the who?
The poor.
So this is Isaiah that you are reading, Isaiah 61. It is a gospel of the poor. So before we look at the redeeming the poor man, let us go back to Isaiah and see what will happen after the poor man is redeemed. Let's go to Isaiah 61 and verse 4. Verse 4.
And they shall build the old wastes. They shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations.
The what?
The desolations of many generations.
So let me tell you something now. The people in that place they call Yasharal. Look at that verse carefully. The people in the nation called Yasharal. What they're looking for, the Messianics, they are saying that in the end time, somebody's going to come and they're going to destroy Israel. And then that is when the children of Israel are going to go in and rebuild. What did it say here? Read verse 4 again.
And they shall build the old wastes. They shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations.
So the place has to be desolate for what? Many generations when the children of Israel go in there. They shall raise up the former desolations. And they shall repair the waste cities. The cities are going to be waste. The cities in Israel are not waste. They are modern cities. The desolations of many generations. They have already been wasted, restored. And the children of Israel are not there. That place is not the land, people. Anyway, let's get back to the topic at hand. The Leviticus 25, verse 47, to see the laws of redeeming a poor man. Hold on, please. 47.
And if a sojourner or stranger wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family, after that he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him.
One of his
brethren.
One of his
brethren.
So Yahusha is the firstborn of many what?
Nations.
He's called the firstborn among many
brethren.
Let me get the verse. Come on, people. We need a whipping. We need a whipping. The Apostle Shaul said it. Romaim 8:29.
For whom he did foreknow.
Hold on. Who did he foreknow? Okay. Read 29 again, please.
For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren.
Yeah? So who can redeem the poor man? One of his?
Brethren.
All right. So let's get back to it now. Verse 48.
After that he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him.
Continue.
Either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin unto him, of his family. Of his family may redeem him.
Hold on there. Of his who?
family.
So if you are not, if you are not an Israelite, you're not related to Yahusha. And don't come with that spiritual thing. Spiritual Israel and all of that. The Torah says one of his kin. That is why in let's go. Matthew 25. It's so nice when you have the truth. Yeah, because guess what? Everywhere you go, another piece of truth just come and just connects and connects and connects. That Matthew 25, verse starts at 31.
When the Son of Man shall come in his splendor, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his splendor. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Master, when saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick or in prison and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren.
Unto one of the least of who?
These my brethren.
I'll say it again.
Inasmuch as you have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, you have done it unto me.
You see that? One of his brethren can redeem him. To the very end, Yahusha, when he comes back, it's going to be about his brethren. Don't come to us with this spiritual Israelite thing. You cannot become an Israelite. His brethren, his family. What did Yahusha say? You alone have I known of all the families of the earth. It's about family. So when he comes back, the people are going to be charged for what they did not do or what they did to his brethren. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, 4. Go ahead.
Remember when the lady came to him for healing from a different nation, he said, I am come but not unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Yeah.
Yeah. And we take that for granted. All right? We are looking at redemption. That part has to do with salvation, which is another issue. Remember, people, we are not talking about salvation. We are talking about redemption here. 2 different things. Okay? Close, but different. So, his brethren. So, it is one of your brethren that may redeem you. That is why you have to be related to Yahusha. And we're going to see scriptures in the New Testament that are veiled. And I'm telling you, they did a number on us. But it had to happen because blindness in part has happened to until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. Yada Yahuwah, all praises to his name. Verse 50. No, verse 49.
You're still in Matthew 25.
No, Leviticus 25:49.
Either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin unto him of his family may redeem him, or if he be able, he may redeem himself. All right,
there's a lot. If we can get it off that, you'd make it faster, because I have a whole lot to go through. All right, verse 50.
And he shall reckon with him that bought him from the year that he was sold to him, unto the year of Jubilee. And the price of his sale shall be according unto the number of years, according to the time of an hired servant shall it be with him.
Mm-hmm.
If there be yet many years behind, according unto them, he shall give again the price of his redemption out of the money that he was bought for.
If there be
And
yet,
if there remain,
if there be yet many years behind, according unto them he shall give again the price of his redemption out of the money that he was bought for. 52.
and if there remain but few years unto the year of Jubilee, then he shall count with him, and according unto his years shall he give him again the price of his redemption.
If you want to know the true Jubilee, that's why I'm telling people that I think the calendar, the Most High has to give us the calendar. When we are going to be brought back into the land, that is going to be the year of Jubilee. Because that is going to be our year of release. Yeah? I think the Jews nowadays have a different set of Jubilees that they have. The Jubilee year is when we are going to be freed. Truly freed from this Babylon system. 53.
And as a yearly hired servant shall he be with him, and the other shall not rule with rigor over him in thy sight. And if he be not redeemed after these years, then he shall go out in the year of Jubilee, both he and his children with him.
Mm-hmm.
For unto me the children of Yasharal are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am Yahuwah your Eluah.
So we are Yahuwah's servants. When he redeemed us to be his servants. So we were servants to Pharaoh, and the Most High ripped us out of the hand of Pharaoh, and we became his servants. Why do you think as soon as we go too far away from him, we have to go into captivity? Why do you think we, the children of Israel who have descended after so many generations, still go through the curses of the Lord? Because we were bought by him taking us out of Egypt. Why do you think so many times it is telling us out of Egypt? It is out of Egypt that he purchased us, and then we became his servants forever and ever and ever. He owns us. We belong to him. Okay? So, that is why the word says we are bought at a price. And we're going to show that he bought us. He's buying us back through Yahushua HaMashiach, through our brethren, redeeming us through our brethren, Yahushua HaMashiach. All right? So let's look at the manifestation of this law of land and a person and look at the account of Ruth. Ruth 1 verses 4 to 10. Now Naomi was a stranger in the land of Moab. Then when she returned, she wanted to sell the land. And we're going to show the example of how the land is redeemed in those days. Ruth 1 verse 1.
And they took them...
Ruth 1 verse 1.
Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled, that there was a famine in the land, and a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons.
No, it's the wrong one. It's not 1, 4, it's 4, 1 to 10. My bad. Ruth 4, 1 to 10. My bad. Then Boaz.
Then went Boaz up to the gate, and sat him down there, and behold, the kinsman of whom Boaz spake came by, unto whom he said, Ho, such a one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down.
So Boaz was about to marry Ruth, but the person comes with the land. The woman comes with the land. If you are redeeming the land, you have to redeem the person. If you are redeeming the person, you have to redeem the land. Remember Boaz, he was supposed to marry Ruth. Before he married her, he had to go and deal with the redemption of the land and the redemption of Ruth. This is a similitude of what is happening in the end with Hamashiach, with the Most High, through Hamashiach. Read it, please. Verse 2.
And he took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, Sit ye down here. And they sat down.
Because what happens is that there was one man in line who was in line ahead of Boaz for the redemption of the land. So Boaz first had to go through that man and give him the opportunity to redeem the land before him. So this is what he's doing here, so you can get an understanding and insight. Go ahead.
And he said unto the kinsman, Naomi, that is come again out of the country of Moab, selleth a parcel of land which was our brother Elimelech's. And I thought to advertise thee, saying, Buy it before the inhabitants and before the elders of my people. If thou wilt redeem it, redeem it. But if thou wilt not redeem it, then tell me, that I may know. For there is none to redeem it beside thee, and I am after thee. And he said, I will redeem it.
So he agreed to redeem the land. But then
said Boaz, What day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must buy it also of Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance.
You see that? So the land comes with the person. And we're going to see that what it actually means is that he has to buy back the land and he has to buy back Ruth. He has to buy Ruth. Verse 6.
And the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I mar mine own inheritance. Redeem thou my right to thyself, for I cannot redeem it.
So he passed it on to Boaz. Verse 7.
Now this was the manner in former time in Yasharal concerning redeeming and concerning changing. For to confirm all things, a man plucked off his shoe and gave it to his neighbor, and this was a testimony in Yasharal. Therefore the kinsman said unto Boaz, Buy it for thee. So he drew off his shoe. And Boaz said unto the elders and unto all the people, You are witnesses that this day that I have bought all that was Elimelech's, and all that was Chilion's and Mahlon's of the hand of Naomi. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife.
Have I what?
Purchased to be my wife.
So he buys the land, he has to buy Ruth with it. That's why the previous man declined. Yes? Because he would have to also buy Ruth. He was willing to buy the land, but he was not willing to buy the land with the woman. All right? It's the same principle with Yahuwah. He redeems the nation and he redeems the land and the people.
Yeah.
Read verse 10.
Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the hand of the dead to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren, and from the gate of his place. Ye are witnesses this day.
So everything in the scripture speaks about the fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So to raise up the name of the dead upon the inheritance, the children of Israel will be redeemed into the land. So, as I said, redemption in the Hebrew scriptures is only for Yasharal. Let's go. 2 Samuel 7:23. We're going to go to them quickly. 2 Samuel 7:23. They lied to us and gave us a false religion. It's about a nation. It's about us, the least on this earth, the people despised, a proverb and a byword. Go ahead, please.
And what one nation in the earth is like thy people, even like Yasharal, whom Elohim went to redeem for a people to himself.
Stop. Whom Alua went to redeem for?
A people
For a people to what?
to himself.
One people to himself. Continue.
And to make him a name, and to do for you great things and terrible, for thy land, before thy people, which thou redeemest to thee from Egypt, from the nations and their Elohim.
That's it. Psalms 130, verse 7. So this one nation. One 30 verse 7.
Let Yasharal hope in Yahuwah, for with Yahuwah there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption.
Redemption for who? Yasharal.
Yasharal.
Let Yasharal hope in Yahuwah, for with Yahuwah there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption. All right? More verses showing that it is only for Yasharal. And verse 8.
And he shall redeem Yasharal from all his iniquities.
And shall redeem who?
Yasharal.
From?
All his iniquities.
And to match that, we go to Acts 5, verse 31, I think. 30 or 31. He shall redeem who from all iniquities? Acts 5, 30. To 31.
The allure of our fathers raised up Yahusha, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. Him hath allure exalted with his right hand, to be a prince and a saviour, for to give repentance to Yasharal
and forgiveness of sins. Redemption, repentance, and forgiveness of sins. Yasharal. He shall redeem Yasharal from all his iniquities. Jeremiah 15, verses 20 to 21. Jeremiah 15, verses 20 to 21. Go ahead, please.
And I will make thee unto this people a fenced brazen wall, and they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee, for I am with thee to save thee and to deliver thee, says Yahuwah. And I will deliver thee out of the hand of the wicked, and I will redeem thee out of the hand of the terrible.
So here we have save and redeem again, deliver out of the hand of the wicked, and redeem thee out of the hand of the terrible. Hosea 13, verse 9. Redemption for Yasharal.
O Yasharal, thou hast destroyed thyself, but in me is thine help.
In me is thine help, because I will redeem you. So even in the New Testament now, they will look in the New Testament and say, that was Old Testament. Galatians 4, verses 3 to 7. You see, in the New Testament, the words are veiled, cleverly veiled, so that we cannot understand who it is for. Galatians, what did I say?
4 verse 3 to 7.
Hold on, please. It is veiled. 3 to 7. Read it, please.
Even so we, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world. But when the fullness of the time was come, Alua sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem them that were under the law.
So, what is he saying? Yahusha was sent to redeem them that were under the law. So who was under the law?
Yasharal.
Yasharal. Yahusha was sent to redeem them that were under the law. Verse continuing from 5.
To redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons.
We might receive what?
The adoption of sons.
So what is the importance of that word adoption? Anyone thinking? Romans 9 verse 1.
I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not, my conscience also bearing me witness of the Ruach HaKadosh,
Continue.
that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Mashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh,
Who are?
Israelites,
And let's see what pertained to the Israelites.
to whom pertaineth the adoption.
Oh, the adoption. The first thing there, the adoption pertains to them. And if we go back on the verse before, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. So the adoption is for the children of Israel. The children of Israel are under the law. Redemption is for the children of Israel. Titus 2:12-15. As I told you, the entire Bible is directed to the children of Israel. Titus 2:12-15.
Teaching us that denying unholiness and worldly lusts, we should live soberly, righteously, and holy in this present world, looking for that blessed hope and the splendorous appearing of the great Allure and our Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach,
Continue.
who gave himself for us, that he might redeem us from all iniquity and purify unto himself a peculiar people, zealous of good works.
So who are a peculiar people?
Yasharal.
Yasharal. 1 Peter 2:9. And if you know, when you're looking in 1 Peter 1:1, Peter, or Kepha, an apostle of Yahushua Mashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia, the strangers, resident foreigners, speaking to Israelites. So the book of 1 Peter, we know Peter was the apostle to the Israelites. 1 Peter 2:9 says,
But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, an holy nation, a peculiar people.
So let's go back. In Titus, when it says, who gave himself for us that he might redeem us from all iniquity and purify unto himself a peculiar people, zealous of good works. These are the children of Yasharal. Redemption people is for one nation. So this redemption for Yasharal is through the gift of the Ruach. Ruach HaKadosh is given as our down payment until we are fully redeemed. This verse is going to take on now new meaning to us as we are looking at redemption. And that is important. This is truth. You have to know truth, or else you will be living and loving a lie. 4-14. Let's go. Verse 4. According Ephesians 1:4-14.
According as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love.
So who was chosen before the foundation of the world?
Yasharal.
The nation of Yasharal. Yeah. So this is what he's speaking about here. Continue.
Having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahushua HaMashiach to himself.
All right, so to whom pertain the adoption? Israel, Yasharal. All right, so this adoption is speaking about the children of Yasharal. Continue.
By Yahushua HaMashiach to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will, to the praise of the splendor of his favor, wherein he hath made us accepted in the beloved, in whom we have redemption through his blood.
We who have redemption. Those who are what? Those who were chosen from before the foundation of the earth. Yeah. Those who were predestinated unto adoption, the children of Israel. Verse 7 again.
In whom we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins, according to the riches of his favor.
And the forgiveness of sins there match up with Acts 5:30 to 31. Forgiveness of sins for Yasharal. Verse 8.
Wherein he has abounded towards us in all wisdom and prudence, having made known unto us the mystery of his will, according to his good pleasure, which he has purposed in himself, that in the dispensation of the fullness of times he might gather together in one all things in Mashiach, both which are in heaven and which are on earth, even in him.
In the dispensation of the fullness of time. This is the fullness of time now. We are in the end. We are living Revelation. He might gather together all things in Hamashiach. Verse 11.
In whom also we have obtained an inheritance, being predestinated according to the purpose of him who worketh all things after the counsel of his own will, that we should be to the praise of his splendor, who first trusted in Hamashiach, in whom ye also trusted, after that ye heard the word of truth, the message of your salvation, in whom also after that ye believed, ye were sealed with that Ruach HaKodesh of promise,
which is
the earnest of our inheritance until the redemption of the purchased possession, unto the praise of his splendor.
All right. So Hamashiach here, it says, which is the earnest or the down payment of our inheritance. The down payment of our inheritance. The Ruach HaKadosh is given as a down payment. Deposit. Until Yahushua HaMashiach returns to redeem us, the purchased possession. So that is why we are bought at a price. The price is the blood of Hamashiach. That is what redeems us. All right? So the Ruach HaKadosh is given as a down payment. So during the time that you have the Ruach, depending on what you do with it, when Hamashiach comes, you will have to give an account of what you have done with what he gave you. So we are bought through Yahushua HaMashiach, redeemed through Yahushua HaMashiach. Now, when is Yasharal redeemed? When is Yasharal redeemed? Now, I want you to look very carefully because we're going to go through some, I don't know if we call it deceptions. You have lights in here? Light can turn on? Yeah. There are some deceptions that they have given unto us, and we're going to go through them. Isaiah 51, verses 9 to 13. When is Yasharal redeemed?
Awake, awake.
Hold on, please. 9 to 13. Go ahead.
Awake, awake. Put on strength, O arm of Yahuwah. Awake as in the ancient of days, in the generations of old. Art thou not it that hath cut Ruhab and wounded the dragon? Art thou not it which has dried the sea, the waters of the great deep, that has made the depths of the sea a way for the ransomed to pass over? Therefore the redeemed of Yahuwah shall return and come with singing unto Zion.
So who is this redeemed?
Yasharal.
The remnant of Yasharal. The redeemed shall return and come with singing unto Zion. It's not the whole world that is redeemed, people. It is one nation will return. One nation will be redeemed. And everlasting
joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away. I, even I, am he that comforteth you. Who art thou that thou shouldst be afraid of a man that shall die, and of the Son of Man which shall be made as grass?
All right, we looked at this before. Yeah. So, Revelation 5, 1 to 9. We're going to be matching up Revelation because there are a couple things in Revelation that were deceptions. That the translations, interpretations that they gave us, we received from Christianity. Revelation 5, 1 to 9. This is those who are redeemed.
And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within, and on the backside sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof. And no man in heaven nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders said unto me, Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. And I beheld, and, lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 ruachoth of Allure, sent forth into all the earth. And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him who sat upon the throne. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints.
All right, you see this verse now? Pay special note to this verse. Go ahead.
And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book, and to open the seals thereof.
And to open
the seals thereof.
What seals?
The seals that no one else could open.
Read verse 1.
And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within, and on the backside sealed with 7 seals.
These are the 7 seals of Revelation 6. And what have we shown in Revelation 6? That we are in the 7 seals. Yes? So our redemption is actually underway. Huh? Oh, the first seal, we have, I think we even have another, yes, we have an article on Just the Words website. What are the 7 seals? I suggest you read that. All right? When going to and there's an ebook on it. You can download the ebook as well. And that is something that we put much time and effort into. All right, so we are in the 7 seals. So read verse 9 now, please.
And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to a lure by the blood.
By thy blood, come, let's stop, let me say the rest. By thy blood, out of every kindred, and tongue, and people, and nation. Out of. You know, the other day I was having a conversation with a sister. Yeah, we did. And she mentioned a dream with Ezekiel 38. And I just decided to look in Ezekiel 38. That is where this teaching is coming from. And while I was speaking to her, I was just scrolling with the mouse. And it landed on Ezekiel 38, 8. And this is what brought out everything that we're saying here today. All right? So as I said, people that don't plan these things, the Most High just lays out. Just something happens and bam, just starts giving me the different understandings. All right? So Revelation 5 verse 9. It says, hast redeemed us to a lure by thy blood. These are the children of Israel. Out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. But in Revelation 7 verse 9, where we are going to go, in Revelation 7 verse 9, it says this. And this is what we are going to prove today. We're going to go through so much different things to prove this. Hope we have time. Read 7 verse 9, please.
After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues.
All right, so here's the problem here. He didn't say out of all nations. He says of all nations. And so the Gentiles take this. Everyone takes this. Even our people who want to forget Israel. So when you bring Israel to people, they bring this verse and say, see there, people from all over. It doesn't matter who you are. This is either a mistranslation or a wicked error. And we're going to show precept upon precept to show you that it is. We're going to go so many different ways to show you that this is wrong. It should have said out of all nations. Because the same word that means out of is the same word that means of. So in the previous one, the translator chose out of. In this one, he chose of. And we're going to show the error in this. This is speaking of the redemption of Yasharal, Revelation 7:9. We're going to show you. It's not for the whole world. Nobody can come and say, oh, see there, it is for everyone. Let's go. When is Yasharal redeemed? The Lamb and the 144,000. Revelation 14, verses 1 to 5.
And I looked, and lo, a Lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written on their foreheads.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung, as it were, a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000
which were redeemed from the earth. So the 144,000, many of us don't, I tell you that word redeemed, we have ignored it so long. The 144,000 were redeemed from the earth. So as we said, we are in the first, we have passed through the first seal. We are in the second seal now, the war, and they are planning to execute the third seal, the black horse, the economic crash. Right? The 144,000 are around at this time. 144,000 are around. They were redeemed from the earth because the Lamb has opened the seals. Revelation 14:4.
These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth.
Let me say this part. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Alua and to the Lamb. The 144,000 are the first fruits. What is the first fruits?
The 10.
What are the first fruits in the Torah? The first of your harvest.
Yeah, that's right.
So if it is the first of your harvest, that means you are going to bring in, you're going to bring in more. They are just the first fruits. Hamashiach is the first fruits. First fruit. So because the 144,000 are first fruits, there are others that are going to be. We're going to see that. Which means we know the 144,000 are Israelites, right? Let's go to verse 9. Verse 4. Revelation 7 verse 4.
Revelation 7 verse 4.
Yeah.
Can you scroll up?
Right.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, And there were sealed 144,000
of all the tribes of the children of Yasharal. So these first fruits are of all the tribes of Yasharal. And then after that in verse 9, after this, after it spoke about the 144,000, then it went ahead and told you, and after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of, and that of there is a Greek word ek, all nations and kindreds and people and tongues stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. Who are these people? Are they people from all nations? Proof. All nations in Revelation 7:9 means only the children of Yasharal. Look carefully at these scriptures, please, if you have them looking at it. Devarim 28 verse 37. Deuteronomy 28 verse 37.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations whither Yahuwah shall lead thee.
Among
all nations.
Among all nations. The Most High is what his plan was, and what he executed was to scatter us among all nations. All right. Some people might say, okay, that all nations is not speaking about every nation. Let's continue. Amos 9, verse 9.
For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Yasharal among all nations.
The children of Israel will be among all nations. Read 9:9 again, please.
For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Yasharal among all nations.
All right, let's go to Tobit 13:5. For time's sake, I have a lot to go through. Tobit 13:5.
And he will scourge us for our iniquities, and will have mercy again, and will gather us out of all nations among whom he has
scattered us. So he's going to gather us out of all nations. And some will say again, all right, not all nations does not mean every nation. All right, so let's go to Acts 2 verse 5 and hear what it says. This is the New Testament. In the New Testament, let's hear what it says.
And there were dwelling in Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven.
Devout men from where? Out of every nation under heaven. That means every single nation on the earth has an Israelite in it who will be called out. So when you go back now to Revelation 7:9, and it says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude of all nations. It means out of all nations. And we're going to go more and show you that. His people are in every nation, and he's going to gather them out. The redemption, the gathering is his people. It's not the whole world. So, in this account, whose redemption draweth nigh? Lucas 21:25. All the scriptures now that we have, when you get this understanding, every scripture is going to look different. Lucas 21:25.
And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring.
This is when we are being delivered, people. This is the end time deliverance. Verse 26.
Men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
Continue.
And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud, with power and great splendor. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
Your redemption. But the whole world takes this and says it is their redemption. Yeah? Every Christian, everybody in this world who read the Bible said it is their redemption. Whose redemption is it?
Yasharal.
Ezekiel 8 proves Revelation 7:9 means redemption for Yasharal. Ezekiel 8. Thank you for this, Yahudit. Ezekiel 38 verse 8.
And after many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Yasharal, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of all the nations.
Out of the nations.
Out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them.
Now, note very carefully the different points that we get from this verse. It will happen in the latter years, which is now. It will happen when Yasharal is returned into the land of Yasharal, which is what we are here expecting. All right? Yasharal shall be gathered out of many people. It will be against the mountains of Yasharal, confirms that this is referring to Israelites. Number 5, Yasharal will be brought forth out of the nations. And number 6, all Yasharal shall dwell safely, which proves that those people in the land, they are not Yasharal. So let us match it up with Revelation 7:9, side by side. If you look, Yasharal will be gathered out of many people and brought forth out of the nations. Yeah? So what is the problem? The problem is the mistranslation of the Greek word ek, which speaks in Revelation 5:6, 5:9, and 7:9 of the same exact situation, but they are given two different translations. Revelation 5:9 says, "And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book, and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us," our redemption, yes, "to allure by thy blood out of," the same Greek word ek, "every kindred, and tongue, and people, and nation." So that's what we came out of. Every kindred, people, tongue, nation. And Revelation 7:9 now says, "After this I beheld, and lo, a number of," and that "of" is the Greek word ek, "all nations and kindreds and people and tongues stood before the throne." So it's the same situation, and they gave us two different contexts, two different translations. Deception. And if you match it up with Ezekiel 38:8, it is saying the same thing, because it says, "To the law and to the testimony of the prophets. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them." And what did the prophet Ezekiel say as testimony? "After many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Yasharal, which have been always waste, but is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them." And if you look at the meaning of the word ek there on the right, it denotes origin, the point from whence motion or action proceeds. Look at it carefully. The point whence motion or action proceeds. What is the significance of that? Anyone pick it up? It is not off where you're from. It is where the motion proceeds. Which motion is it? Israel being taken out of the nations. So the "out of" is a more relevant translation. It means from, out of place, time or cause, literally or figuratively, direct or remote. And it speaks about after, among, at, betwixt. Okay? From, among, that's another one of them. And some way out thing as usual. So it actually means out of. The children of Israel were taken out of the nations. All right? So, wow, we're finished. Somebody please, this is the last one that we're on. There's so much to this, but I try to condense it as much as possible. So much more evidence, but I can't put everything in there. Somebody can check YouTube for questions while we finish this. So, confirmation of Yasharal's redemption. Here is the prophecy of Yasharal's redemption. Let's go to the book of Yechezkel, Ezekiel 34, verse 27.
And the tree of the field shall yield her fruit, and the earth shall yield her increase, and they shall be safe in their land, and shall know that I am Yahuwah, when I have broken the bands of their yoke, and deliver them out of the hand of those that serve themselves of them.
This is our redemption. Continue.
And they shall no more be a prey to the heathen, neither shall the beast of the land devour them, but they shall dwell safely. I can't see it.
And none shall make them afraid. Verse 29.
And I will raise up for them a plant of renown, and they shall be no more consumed with hunger in the land, neither bear the shame of the heathen any more. Thus shall they know that I, Yahuwah, their Eluah, am with them, and that they, even the house of Yasharal, are my people, says Yahuwah Eluah.
Yada Yahuwah. So when we are returned to the land, we shall know that we are his people. And this is another one. I don't know. You see, this has just so many things we can do from this. So many things that have opened up to me since this. And I hope that this will do. And this is why this teaching is so important. Since I've delved into this, a whole lot of different things have opened up. Is it this thing about you are my people? A whole lot of another teaching insights into this thing here. That, redemption is for Yasharal, none other people. We must have been owned by the Most High before you can be redeemed by him. Okay? Of course, we're speaking about redemption, not salvation. How come I haven't gotten this YouTube thing here? Anyway, I'll have to test it. All right, any questions on YouTube? Let me go on YouTube and see what's happening there. What is happening on YouTube? All right, so that's a good number. We have 62 watching at the moment. That's a very nice number. All right, so let me see what's on it. Oh, this is a highlight of my Shabbat study. Thank you for your diligence. All praise and esteem. Shalom to you all. No questions so far. Spiritually, husbandmen, seeds and plants, and taking care of the sheep, shepherding, could be alluding to the priesthood taking care of the fathers, fields of people and sheep, of course. There it is. But there is the physical aspect of it. This is not spiritual. Going into the kingdom, everything is going to be restored as it was before. All right? Does this mean the 144,000 would be brought into the land first? The word says the 144,000 will be with Hamashiach. And they will follow him wheresoever he goes. So there we go. So they will not just be in the land, they will be wherever Hamashiach goes. All right? Wow, praise Allah for his truth and word. Aren't there some Gentiles who will be gathered as well? Yeah, that's a whole other study. They will not be gathered. They will join themselves unto Yasharal. He gathers his people, and the Gentiles sojourn with his people. So the whole gathering of his people is his people will be gathered, and strangers will join themselves to his people. But he's not gathering these Gentiles, he's gathering his people. And that is why we speak to the Gentiles. We have a teaching on the danger of being grafted in. There's a big error about grafted in, and we have an ebook on that as well. In detail, we explain what it means to be grafted in. To be grafted in doesn't mean you go and say you believe in Yahusha. It means you have to be grafted in. You have to humble yourselves to his people. In Revelation 13:10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. All right? Especially those people in the West. Those Gentiles in the West. Most of whom are responsible, whether directly or indirectly, for our captivity. You will have to be subservient to us. You will have to humble yourselves down and join yourselves to us. And know that you will not be gathered. It is people who are being gathered. And your hope is in the gathering of his people. What does the redemption of Ruth a Moabitess mean spiritually? She's not an Israelite, neither was Rahab. Well, that redemption is, it is not redemption. It is salvation, which we said is different. All right? Ruth was slightly different in that Ruth, then being married to the Israelite, she became like, became joined to the name of her husband. So notice it wasn't Ruth who sold the land, it was Naomi who sold the land. But Ruth being joined to the husband, she had to be sold with the land. So Ruth's case is a really funny case as well. All right? We are to get baptism in Bahamas. I have no idea. Anyone in Bahamas who's hearing this? I don't know. If you are in Bahamas hearing this, may you do whatever you can do. All right? Any questions? Please put up the questions. 63 people watching. If you have any questions before we go, please do so. All right. I pray Yahuwah keep revealing his truth. You are to you. I pray Yahuwah cover you and us, Yada Yahuwah. All right. Praise be to Yahuwah for this wonderful teaching. All praises to his name. Would he gather all his people first, then weed them out before entering the land, as in the days of Moses? Of course. That is why it says, the wheat and the tares shall be together until the days of harvest. And let's go to, it's Ezekiel 20, our tried and proven verse. Let me go to it. Yeah. Ezekiel 20 verse 33 tells us and answers that question. Ezekiel 20, 30.
34.
Start at 33.
As I live, says Yahuwah Eluah, surely with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out, will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. So will I plead with you, says Yahuwah Eluah.
Continue.
And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Yasharel, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah.
And ye shall know that I am Yahuwah. This answers your question. He's going to bring them out, bring them into the wilderness of the people, and purge out the rebels and those that transgress against me. All right, I keep telling our people here that this is what we are going through. This is what we are going through. We are in the wilderness of the people, and we have to not be acting as if this is a normal. Everything that you're going through here is a test to purge you, or whether you will go through. Every single thought that you're having, every single action, every single thing that is on you, everything that you're being compelled, you're thinking of doing, you're responding to, everything, it is the wilderness of the people which will purge. And he's pleading with you by what you're going through. Speaking through people like me, pleading with you. So I am there every day telling people this, you need to this, you need to that. What do you think? He's pleading through me. And others here who might be correcting you, who might be exhorting you to do such and such.
Being refined.
Yeah. Is that a question? To plead, let's go to the meaning before I give my take on it. Where is it? As I pleaded. Plead. 35. Plead. Shafat, a primitive root to judge. Hey. The first word is not a good word at all. We are being judged at this very moment. That is, pronounce sentence for or against. What a scary thought. So it's like our judgment day is here. Our pre-judgment day is here, and we are here fooling around. You see, people? By implication, to vindicate or punish. By extension, to govern. By extension, to govern. Yes. By extension, to govern. So when the Most High has his people who has put as leadership, we go against his people. You are rebelling against Yahuwah. Yes. So when you have a group of elders here who meet and they speak, they are speaking on behalf of Yahuwah. When you hear the leader speak and he pronounces something, he's speaking on behalf of Yahuwah. By extension, to govern. Passively, to litigate, literally or figuratively. So when we meet together, the elders here, the men here meet together, and we litigate, who do you think it is coming from? Plus, avenge. That. Hear this word. Condemn. Condemn. People are coming here. Good question. People are coming here. That's why we're pleading with people. Why do you think we're pleading with people? And we say, no this and no that. We're pleading with you on behalf of Yahuwah. Because many of us are actually condemned if we don't do certain things that we are to do. Contend. He's here to contend with us. So when you contend, what do? When you contend, you fight.
Yeah.
So that is why sometimes, what I have said this before, that we are in the wilderness of the people. Haven't I told you that we are going to get on the very last nerves of each other? Haven't I said that we are going to make each other miserable? That is a contend. So he will be testing you. make one person make you miserable and test you. The other one is defend. So he will be defending some against some. Hear this one. Execute judgment. Execute judgment. Be a judge. Judgment. Needs. Plead. Reason. Rule. Plead. Reason. He will be like he's reasoning with you now. Rule. Rule. And we know we are coming from Babylon, where we are taught we rule ourselves. We run ourselves. How many times have I been speaking to people here about order? About Yahuwah's order. And about giving respect to who he has set. Because we have come out of Babylon with disorder, lack of respect for authority and everything. Thinking that we are our own order, thinking we can do things ourselves. The Most High will speak to me. It's not me. Oh, I don't have to listen to him. Most High will speak to me. Most High has order. He will rule over you, and he rules over you with order. So that word plead is not a very welcoming word at all. At all. Reason. Judgment. It was a judgment came first. All right. All right, let's see if anyone else came up. All right, here we go with someone who's saying that Ruth was an Israelite. Boaz's kinsman relationship with Ruth proved she was an Israelite living in Moab. All right. Rahab is not the same as Rahab. No, let me go back up. Ruth was from the land of Moab, similar to an African being called an African American. All right. Can the Gentiles who were grafted in return to the land? Oh, that's a good one. Can the Gentiles who are grafted in return to the land? And that is Isaiah 14, 1 to 2 will answer your question. Isaiah 14, can the Gentiles who are grafted in return to the land? You can return to the land, but as servants. Isaiah 14, 1 to 2. Read, please.
For Yahuwah will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Yasharal, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place, and the house of Yasharal shall possess them in the land of Yahuwah, for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
So the Gentiles will be servants and handmaids. All right? They shall be joined with us going into the land. But they shall be possessed or owned by the children of Yasharal for strangers and handmaids. Huh? Yeah. All right. So Roman Miller said, thank you. I was not sure. So Observant D program said Rahab is not the same as Rahab. Rahab is not the same as Rahab. But R-A-H-A-B still pronounced Rahab, but it is written differently. We know that there's a Rahab who is different from the Rahab that was in the genealogy. Rahab the prostitute was a Canaanite. Rahab is the ancestor of our Mashiach, not Rahab or Rahab as they have it. All right, so that is a point to actually look at, something that I have heard already, but I haven't found any way to prove it. What proves it, though, is that there were two different Rahab, because the Rahab that is in the scriptures, the Rahab or Rahab that is in the genealogy, could not be living around at the time of Joshua. So I know and understand that there are two different people. All right. The land of Moab was conquered by the Israelites It previously belonged to the Amorites and Moabites. Ruth was therefore called a Moabite. Well, this is something that is actually in line with what we're speaking about, isn't it? That our people will be scattered all over. So I've heard this before again, that Ruth the Moabitess was an Israelite. And it probably is in line with what we are saying. It's very possible. Because remember, when I got this thing, everything started looking different. Every single verse started looking different. So I can't even say you are wrong or anything. Something that just have to continue to dig into. Boaz's kinsman relationship with Ruth proves she was an Israelite living in Moab. All right. How to contact? I need more information. Let me put the our website, justaword.org. Just go on our website. I put it in the chat. And down the bottom, there is a message box. You can just message us and we will get back to you. That is how you contact us, all right? Are we sure about Ruth and Rahab? H7343, H7294, HG4460. Let's look into these. As Alicia, let me tell you something. There is a worldwide conspiracy, Psalm 83, of them hiding Yasharal. You cannot take what they give you as gospel. You have to use. What do we use to get the truth? Isaiah 28, 9-13. Precept must be upon precept. Precept upon precept. You cannot look at their Strong's numbers. Strong was a white man. The Most High said in Isaiah 28. What was this? Yeah, he was an Edomite. It says in Isaiah 28 that he will, with stammering lips, and let me get it. I love to get it exact, so I don't misquote our Father. Isaiah 28, verse 11. You cannot be using these people thing as gospel to actually be proving against people who have Isaiah 28, verse 11. Go, please.
For with stammering lips and another tongue will
No, sorry. Start from verse 9.
Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
So who do you think he's going to give these understanding to? He's not going to give his understanding to everybody, to everyone. You have to be mature for him to give you his understanding. Because, verse 10.
For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
So Alicia, it's not Strongs upon Strongs, Strongs upon Strongs. It's precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little. You cannot be coming with Strongs to try and defeat an understanding that is there. If you go with Rahab and look in the genealogy when Rahab that is in the genealogy existed, and you will see that it is way outside the genealogy of the time of Joshua. And if you look in the Bible, you see many different people with the same names. If you look for certain names, you will see the name of such and 7 other Israelites that are in the Bible. The names don't have one person by the name. So here is why you cannot take Strong's. Verse 11.
For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people.
Will he speak to this people? He is going to speak to us with stammering lips and another tongue. That is why we need precepts to do it. And what is the stammering lips? He's going to go. Let's go to the meanings. Verse 11. This we got to understand. These are one of those things that you have to understand. in understanding lies from these people. So we have verse 11. For with stammering, what does that stammering mean?
A buffoon.
The stammering there, age 39-34, is laeg. From age 39-32, a buffoon. Also a foreigner, mocker, stammering. Strong's is a foreigner.
Yes.
So he speaks to us through foreigners. So because he speaks to us through foreigners, why do we want precept upon precept? Because the lying tongue of the scribes is going to make it into a lie. It's going to make it in vain, which is Jeremiah 8 verse 8. So with stammering lips, yes? And that lips there is Shafa, probably from G5595. The lips as a natural boundary, by implication, language. So there's a saying in the English-speaking world, there is many a slip between the cup and the lip. So with stammering lips, so with the lips of a buffoon, an idiot, a foreigner, he's going to speak with us. So he's going to use language. This is the Strong's right here. So in order to bridge the gap between Hebrew and English, they gave us Strong's. And look at Isaiah 28. It says, with these foreigners and buffoon, he is going to speak. And another tongue, the tongue there is lashon, which means the tongue used literally as instrument for licking and figuratively speech. Language. Speaker, language. So he's going to use a false language to fool us up. So how can I be taking the entire Strong's? It is not the Strong's that does it, Alicia. It is precept. Must be upon precept. Precept upon precept. Line upon line upon line. Here a little, there a little. All right? Alisa Mark, as we are all mixed today, Yah has to look at our hearts and those who choose him and to do his commands and statutes. I feel it must be a spiritual people he is gathering, and you are wrong. He is gathering back the nation of Yasharal. If you want to see what he's gathering, go to the book of Deuteronomy 29. Tells you how he gathered people into the first kingdom. Then you go to Isaiah 14, 1-2, which shows you how he's going to gather people in the kingdom. We looked at that the strangers will be joined to the children of Yasharal. We can go all day. Amos 9, 11-12, which tells you when he restores the tabernacle of David and tells you what is going to happen upon the return. Amos 9, 11-12. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. This is now going back in the kingdom, and let's see what is going to happen. That they may possess the remnant of Edom, and of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith Yahuwah that doeth this. His people are going to own the people. What do you think? You are wicked and cruel. Do you think they're going to treat us like this for how many hundreds of years? And they let us come back in the kingdom. Oh, come. No. You're crazy. What did Isaiah say? What did Yahuwah say in Isaiah 61? No, his people. What did Yahuwah say in Isaiah 61? Foolishness. What did Isaiah say in Isaiah 61? Read Isaiah 61 verse 8.
For I, Yahuwah, love judgment.
Stop there. This is the gospel. Isaiah 61 is the gospel of the poor. And what did Yahuwah say here?
For I, Yahuwah, love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offering. And I will direct their work in truth. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them.
And what will happen there? Verse 9.
And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles.
Stop there. Stop there. Alicia, man. Come on. Their seed shall be known among the Gentiles. What does that mean? Oh, it's a spiritual people he's gathering. Their seed shall be known. What does that mean? You're going to look at you spiritual and say, oh, that's a spiritual seed. No. They're going to look and see Israel and say, there's an Israelite. There are going to be Gentiles that are going to see it. Because what would be the judgment now? If the Most High just allow things to happen, go, and no judgment, they don't even see us and see the Most High lifting us back again. They are actually lifted up with us. Huh? Man, these people have hated us. Let me tell you as a person, as a children of Israel, a child of Yasharal. These people hate and despise us. Those African Americans can even talk more than I. They hate our guts and make sure that we are nothing. We reach nothing. We come to nothing. They try to kill our children with abortion. They do all sorts of wickedness. All sorts of wickedness. They make sure that we cannot get rich. They alone. Hey. And then the Most High leaves them alone and puts them up with us. Who are you speaking about? You're talking about God. Yeah, God does that. Yeah, God, the unrighteous judge, not Yahuwah Sabaoth. Read verse 9.
And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, and their offspring among the people.
Now hear this part now.
All that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which Yahuwah has blessed. Maybe it's a spiritual Gentile.
And that is a Gentile speaking. A Gentile here is speaking. Maybe you're speaking about a spiritual Gentile. Come on. Hey, it's a bloodline. And the bloodline comes from the seed of the Father. The Most High knows our people. The bloodline comes from the seed of the Father. Precept must be upon precept. Precept upon precept. Line upon line. Line upon line. Here a little, there a little. And let's go to the book of Bemidbar. Numbers 1, verse 2. No, start from verse 1.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the congregation, on the first day of the 2nd month, in the 2nd year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Yasharal, after their families,
by the house of their fathers,
with the number of their names, every male by their polls.
After their families, by the house of their fathers. Verse 18.
And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the 2nd month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families.
They declared their what?
Pedigrees.
And what does pedigrees mean? Let's go to the meaning of pedigrees. Pedigrees is the Hebrew word yalad, which means to bear young, causatively to beget, medically to act as midwife, all right. Specifically to, here is it, specifically to show lineage. So let's go back to 18.
And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the 2nd month, and they declared their
lineage. They declared their lineage after their families.
After their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, by their polls.
You see that? They declared their lineage, their pedigrees, after their families, by the house of their fathers. So yes, we are mixed, Alicia, but the Most High knows how we are mixed. He knows how we are mixed. He knows our lineage. All right? All praises to the Most High. All right. What was that? What will happen? As we just said, it is the seed of the Father that the Most High will look, because he says, let me get the verse. He told us what will happen. Huh? There's one verse I'm looking for that should have answer. The book of Joel 3, starting at verse 19. So the question is, what was the question again? What will happen to Gentile spouses? And we just show that the lineage is through the lineage of the Father. So the Most High knows the lineage, and then in the end, he is going to do something. Joel 3, verses 19 to 21.
Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land.
So you see, Egypt and Edom gonna have problems. Most of the people in the West, they're mixed with Edom. Now we saw the pedigree, the lineage by the house of the fathers. Edom is gonna be in problems. Okay? But, verse 20.
But Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation.
And look what the Most High will do now with all those mixed children and those mixed people.
For I will cleanse their blood, and I have not cleansed for Yahuwah.
For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for Yahuwah dwelleth in Zion. So the mixed breed children whose father's lineage is from the children of Yasharal, their blood will be cleansed. All right? So it's not a thing about, oh, we're all mixed. So, yeah? Father's line that makes you an Israelite. It's blood, it's lineage. That is why the mark of the beast has gone to the blood. Why do you think? Huh? Why do you think they try to change the DNA? Because they know if they do that, we are Israelites, right? And it's in the blood. If they can alter the blueprint of our blood, the DNA, the Most High is going to reject us. We are no longer Israelites. Yeah. So his name is written with the double strand helix, and they try to put in a triple helix, 666, mark of Satan.
His code. Yeah.
So that's why they attack the blood, because it is in the bloodline. All right? Observant deprogram seems to have a wealth of knowledge. All right? All right. All right, so he says, Leviticus 16:34 shows that Yasharal were atoned under the Mosaic law. Our Mashiach redeemed Yasharal. The mixed multitude was not atoned. Numbers 2:1-34. I'll have to read that. Numbers 2:1-34, and he gave Numbers 11:4-34. I have to read those to see. As the word says, what does he say? Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Let me see. Numbers, what did I say? 2:11-34. What's the other one? Numbers 11:4-34. Numbers, what did I say?
2:11.
Numbers 11. What again? Why? Brain pack up with so much things. 4-34. All right, so that's it. All right, so thank you all for being here. Now I got to give a shout out to all who have contributed. Look who's at the top. Does anyone know someone called Hassad? What are you doing there? You're supposed to be here. All right, and we have, oh, look at this. I know this name. Pedro
El Pedro.
Shetu. It's not El Pedro. Pedro Shetu. Oh, Pedro is there. Steve Prakia. Bianca, but who is that?
Alicia.
And then followed by Yafa. We got Undamiso. Shabbat Shalom. Elisheba. Shabbat Shalom. No, that's not her. Are they friends? Lioness Swan. Ona, what are you doing there? Why aren't you here with us? Ah. Radcliffe, Wagwan. Who is this El Green? No one knows someone called El Green. Lavar. Katrina Dockery. Andrea Barrett Gray. Hazel. Eliana. Boy, Eliana. Missing in action. Beverly Williams. Mike Nor W. Shalom. Donald Dunn. Shalom. Joshua Riggs. Shalom. Jamal Child of Yah. Shalom. Alicia Mack. Toluwalese Halel. Shalom. Rochelle Kutsa. Hey, Rochelle, what are you doing there? You should be here with us. Roma Miller. The King's Daughter. The King's Daughter. And Kimberly. Brian Bino. Akila Yahu Ben Yasharal. Listone Capitula. Observant Deprogrammed. John 14:15. Who else? Mayim Yisrael. And Mayim Yisrael, I hope you people are not tired. You tired? Uh-huh. Yeah, you're tired, but you don't want to say yes. Can Gentiles be elders among Israelites in the wilderness? And you just have to go to Deuteronomy. That Deuteronomy 29 is a powerful one. I tell people these verses, people here, you just need to know these verses. They answer. Well, notice a lot of the questions. It is verses that we keep going over and over that are answering the question. Deuteronomy 29, verse. Can Gentiles be elders among the children of Yasharal? This is the hierarchy of the people who were entering into the land. Deuteronomy 29, verse 10.
Ye stand this day, all of you, before Yahuwah your Elohim, your captains of your tribes, your elders, and your officers, with all the men of Yasharal.
Stop there. An elder cannot be a woman. All right? This verse, verse 10, tells you the hierarchy of the children of Israel, the men of Israel going in. And it's going to show the strangers, the Gentiles, being separate. So it starts with the captain of the tribes, then the elders, and the officers, and all the men of Israel next. Those four are the heads of those who will be going into the kingdom. Next, verse 11.
Your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water.
Going back into the kingdom again, restoring the kingdom again. The strangers will be at the bottom. They will be hewers of wood and drawers of water. People, can't we understand? We got to understand that the strangers, the Gentiles, will serve. They will serve. Because under the tributary law, When peace is declared to them, then they must serve. Let's go. Deuteronomy 20, verse 10. This is why the Gentiles have to serve. Deuteronomy 20, verse 10. Remember, we're not dealing with God, we're dealing with Yahuwah. Deuteronomy 20, verse 10.
When thou comest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. And it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace, and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee.
So when the Prince of Peace declares peace, then those who accept the peace become tributaries, and they shall serve us. That is why in going back in the kingdom, Isaiah 14, 1-2, that is why when going back in the kingdom, Isaiah 14, 1-2, it says, the house of Yasharal shall possess them, the strangers, for servants and handmaids. They have to serve. They cannot be elders with us. They are servants. Our servants. All right? All right. All right, so that's it. Yeah, our people here have been here for quite a while. So thank you all for being here with us. All right? So please share this with someone, and please share Just a Word with someone. Remember Just a Word Radio? We are 24/7 online radio at justawordradio.com, and our website justaword.org, and our video website Just a Word TV. People, we have so much ways to reach you. Just a Word TV is a video website where we collect videos that are relevant to the way and to the awakening and to the end times, and we show videos that show some videos that are banned and all of that. We have it on justaword.tv. All right? If you want the truth, you have nowhere else to go but with Just a Word. All right? And also, we have Just a Word exclusive videos that we do that we don't put on YouTube. We put them on justaword.tv. All right? Thank you all for watching. Please share this with someone, and thank you for making it Just a Word. All right? This is Kazak Eliyahu Yasharal. Until next time, and on behalf of the Just a Word family, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. Shalom.